So, what makes a cute one cute? We've looked at some that are cuddly, smart, or colorful, others that run fast or jump high. Then we've seen some that live in the cold, others that lounge at the beach, a few that hang out in zoos, and many that sleep in our beds. But now, brace yourself for a new kind of cute one. These adorable animals have the honor of being just plain weird. Welcome to Australia, a land of immense beauty and wildly different topographies and climates. Ranging from snowy mountain ranges to tropical rainforests and blazing hot deserts. Australia is also home to some of the most diverse and unusual wildlife on the planet. More than 80% of the Earth's mammals, reptiles, and frogs are found only in Australia. There's nowhere else where you can spot kangaroos or koalas, wallabies or wombats, and dingoes too. In Australia, there are many really bizarre members of the animal kingdom, including perhaps the weirdest of them all. Echidnas. Echidnas are walking contradictions. Or maybe we should say waddling contradictions. They're mammals, but they lay eggs. They're classified as long-beaked or short-beaked, but they don't actually have beaks. Those are snouts. And also, echidnas are called spiny anteaters, but they're not true anteaters at all. They are spiny though, as they're covered with hollow, barbless quills. Kind of like a wacky-looking porcupine. But getting back to that egg-laying, echidnas are monotremes. That's the fancy name for egg-laying mammals. The only other living monotreme on the planet is the duck-billed platypus, but more on him later. Echidnas look strange to us, and they really are puzzling to researchers and scientists too. This cute one has remained unchanged since prehistoric times, finding ways to survive while so many other species became extinct. Even the kangaroos are curious about these oddballs. This list of weird traits goes on and on. Echidnas don't have any teeth, so they eat mainly soft foods like ants and termites. Instead of teeth, echidnas have hard, horny pads on the roof of their mouths and the back of their tongues to help them munch on harder treats. Echidnas have tiny, cute faces with small eyes, so they don't see very well. But they have great hearing, and their snouts give them a really keen sense of smell that lets them detect insects and their movements. When they've located a meal, the echidna's long tongue shoots out to scoop up the snack. That's so weird, but so cute, isn't it? Similar to reptiles, echidnas' legs extend outwards, then downwards, causing them to waddle when they walk. Their short legs are very strong, with wide claws that they use to dig into the ground. These work like a shovel to help them tear apart old logs and termite mounds to look for delicious bugs. Seems like he's found his favorite food, more termites. And check this out, their hind legs point backwards with an extra long claw on the second toe. that they can use to comb or scratch out dirt and bugs that get wedged between their spines. A very handy feature. Echidnas have two kinds of hair. Short fur for warmth, and then longer hairs that are hard and spiky. Nearby, a dingo is curious about the echidna, but he knows it would be a mistake to try something. Those spines are sharp and act as the echidna's main defense. When they feel threatened, they curl into a ball, like a hedgehog. Then they can cruise around like spiny tanks, or they burrow into the ground or under logs, displaying only their sharp spikes to the world. Those dingoes get the point. These monoliths look straight out of a science fiction film, but they are in fact created by termites. Ah, there's another echidna here. But he doesn't feel like socializing, so instead, he just burrows under the mud to cool down and get some rewarding sleep after a long day. All that waddling can really take it out of you. Echidnas range over large territories looking for food. Although it doesn't look like they cover ground very quickly. Echidnas are also thought to be very smart, with large brains for their 75-centimeter bodies. One problem with being so smart is that they're good at avoiding humans, even the scientists who want to study them. With big brains and amazing bodies, it's no wonder these peculiar cute ones have survived for millions of years. Forests are a beautiful feature of the gorgeous Australian landscape. The country has more than 125 million hectares of forest, which is equivalent to a whopping 16% of Australia's land area. Australia's native forests cover a broad range of geographic landscapes and climates. And they contain a wide array of those unique species found nowhere else on Earth. In the many rivers and streams of the Australian forests is where we'll find one of the strangest of those species, and one of the most bizarre creatures on the planet. The duck-billed platypus is another highly unusual Australia resident. And like their buddies, the echidna, they are just chock full of weirdnesses. Platypuses have a paddle-shaped tail, like a beaver. A sleek, furry body, like an otter. And a flat bill and webbed feet, like a duck. In fact, the first time a platypus was brought from Australia to Britain, people couldn't believe that it was a real animal. Their streamlined bodies help them glide through the water. Their dense fur is thick and repels water to keep them warm and dry, even after hours of swimming. Their most flattering feature is their sensational snout. Yes, it looks like a duck's bill, but it's actually quite soft, and it's covered with thousands of receptors that help the platypus find food. Receptors? Yes, you heard right. These receptors really come in handy because when the platypus dives, folds of skin cover his eyeballs and nostrils. They're now completely watertight, but they can't smell or see. So the receptors allow them to detect electrical fields and movement of their prey. And soon, dinner is served. Platypuses nosh on the bottom of the water, which sounds a lot nicer than saying they're bottom feeders. They scoop up insects and larvae, shellfish, and worms in their bill, along with bits of gravel and mud from the bottom. All this material is stored in cheek pouches, and then they head for the surface. They do not have teeth, so the bits of grit and gravel help them to chew their meal. With all of this in their mouths, they grind the gravel and their prey together, creating a delicious dinner. Just to enhance the weirdness, the platypus has no stomach. The food goes down their throats and directly to their intestines. So no teeth, no stomach. What a really crazy creature. But still, so cute. Duck-billed platypuses are small, shy animals. They're only about 40 centimeters long and weigh less than 1.5 kilos. They are hard to spot, often spending a lot of time burrowing into the muddy riverbanks. Males are also venomous. They have sharp stingers on the heels of their rear feet and can use them to deliver a strong, toxic blow to any foe. Like the echidnas, they've been around for a long time. This buddy was around well before the extinction of the dinosaurs. And for sure, in prehistoric times, he was the cutest one around. And they may be the earliest living relatives of the modern mammal. I guess that means we all have this very odd, cute one on our family tree. Lurking in the warm, shallow coastal waters from East Africa all the way to Australia is one of the largest cute ones on Earth. And yes, one of the weirdest too. We're talking about an animal who loves to live alone or in groups and spends most of its time eating. The very large and very hungry dugong. They are relatives of the manatee and they sort of look alike. But despite what some people think, they're definitely not the same creature. They have different tails, nails, nostrils, teeth, and mouths. And they live in very different parts of the world. There are a lot of funny legends related to this cute and sweet animal. One of the most popular is the legend of the mermaid. Dugongs are far from beautiful. They look more like a big gray sack of potatoes, with a funny snout, small eyes and ears, big flexible lips, and a forked tail. But with these traits, it is believed that the sirens of the past were actually dugongs. The female dugongs use their tails to stand upright in the water and hug their newborn to nurse. The sailors, helped by massive doses of alcohol, looked out from the edges of the ships and, seeing the nursing dugongs, thought, a woman, a mermaid. Dugongs are also known as sea cows, and that tells you a lot about their appearance and their behavior. They grow to about 3 meters long and weigh up to 500 kilos. And they have really cute, goofy faces. They are vegetarians and graze day and night on underwater grasses, rooting and chomping every bit like cows. They sometimes gather in herds of as many as 100 animals, although they usually live alone or in pairs. Dugongs are well built for this underwater grass grazing. They have long snouts that point downward and a strong, movable upper lip that lets them uproot and tear the grass. Looks like the local fish like to grab some snacks that the dugongs stir up from the bottom. Watch how he has extremely large lungs and the ability to close their nostrils underwater so they can stay under for up to 6 minutes at a time. Also, their heavy skeleton acts like an anchor, so they don't float away while they feed. They kind of look like gigantic underwater vacuum cleaners. They are very friendly and social and have no problem sharing the sea with other species. With faces like that, how else could they be? They are sometimes found in groups that can be as large as 200. But it's hard to find grazing areas that can support groups that size. Dugongs are semi-nomadic. Some will migrate long distances, while others will live in the same area for life. Basically, their travel is driven entirely by the availability of dinner. Pairs of dugongs found together are often mom and calf hanging out. The baby is born underwater, and the mom helps her baby reach the surface and take its first breath. A young dugong remains tight with its mom for about 1.5 years. Sometimes the calf hitches a ride on her mom's back. Dugongs are endangered, so it's impossible to think even for a moment that humans cannot do something to protect this incredible creature. When you see one, you might think those tails are a bit of a stretch. But there's no disputing that dugongs are definitely one of the best cute ones of the sea. Some of our favorite cute ones are the smart, happy dolphins of the sea. Their engaging smiles can be spotted along sea coasts and out in the deep ocean. And of course, they are some of the most popular attractions at marine parks around the world. But there's one very unusual variety of dolphins that can only be found in a very surprising habitat. The fresh water of the rivers of South America. The Amazon River dolphin is the largest of these freshwater dolphins, and they call the Amazon and Orinoco river systems home. These playful pink dolphins are all distant relatives of the saltwater variety. They are also known by their Portuguese name, Boto dolphins. These cute ones have adapted to this very different environment, with much larger snouts with bristle hairs on the end to take advantage of the best way to find food, river bottom feeding. Botos depend on healthy fish populations for their survival. Without plenty of fish, they'll miss a lot of dinners. Other aquatic organisms like river turtles and freshwater crabs can also make for a delicious meal. Unlike their saltwater relatives, Amazon river dolphins have a flexible spine and neck and can move their head left and right. But they don't have a fin on their back, just a ridge. Adult males can reach 185 kilograms in weight and 2.5 meters in length. These dolphins have tiny eyes and bad vision, and it's hard to see in the water of these rivers at the best of times. But that doesn't bother these dolphins. Like their saltwater cousins, they use echolocation to get around. That bump on their head is like a sonar device emitting sounds that help them navigate. Let's watch how this funny cute one makes its way through the water. Let's watch how this one is taking a rock in his mouth, trying to impress the females. Because of their flexible spines, these dolphins are great swimmers and can twist and turn quickly in tight spaces and the shallow spots in the river. Amazon river dolphins are often seen swimming on their backs. This strange behavior is thought to be because their adorable chubby cheeks obstruct their downward vision. The ancient people that inhabited this region believed the Amazon river dolphins were divine beings. That may or may not be true, but one thing is for sure, they are divinely cute. So, a look at very unusual members of the animal kingdom, like the adorable echidnas. Duck-billed platypuses. Dugongs, and Amazon river dolphins. Proves once again that lovable animals come in all shapes, sizes, colors, and personalities. And there's no one-size-fits-all definition of cute ones.